Welcome back. There's been quite a lot of online chatter recently about the Singapore Civil Defence Force, or more specifically, the SCDF social media accounts, because they've somehow managed to connect with the online community by relaying public service announcements in a fun and engaging tone. And a lot of netizens are lapping it up, these witty exchanges with their followers. We'll show you some of them. For example, this one here is a tweet with a Lego pun on "Let's Go," and it got a thumbs up from a lot of followers. It says, "Lego, put out the fire." Well, SCDF also had witty exchanges with local humour site SGAG involving cats and talkative colleagues. Well, netizens thought that they were awesome. That was the hashtag they used throughout, hashtag awesome. And most recently, this exchange with SGAG about the dry spell in Singapore, it got a lot of hits. So the SCDF social media team put across official messages in a tone that had a distinctly Singaporean flavour and a lot of appeal to you guys online. So to discuss the issue with us is Baey Yam Keng, MP for Tampines GRC, who's very active on social media. So Mr. Baey, you saw some of those tweets and posts earlier. What's your take? Is this what the younger generation is looking for?
I think so. I think based on response, a lot of likes, a lot of retweets, favorites, it's really refreshing. And I think it really has succeeded in connecting with the online community and getting messages across.
So you're very active on Instagram, extremely active. We follow you all the time. Is that why you also have an active presence on these social media platforms?
Well, I learned along the way. When I discovered Instagram is getting popular, I try it out. So there are hits and misses. So I think in social media it's about experimenting, about trying and be bold. And I think I really applaud what SCDF is doing now.
But with these things, you always have to be very careful. So do you think that there's a line that shouldn't be crossed, especially coming from someone who is an MP?
I think the line is very fine, and we have to try and learn along the way. I think nothing venture, nothing gain. There'll be some detractors. There are some who, for example, hate my selfies. Right.
There you go.
So, but I think based on the responses I get, I think the following growing, I think that has, I think I'm very encouraged by that. So, but you're right, it's about how do we strike a good balance.
So governments, in general, meant to be authoritative. Do you think there's a danger in diluting messages if they take on, an informal mode of communication?
Well, look at SCDF. It's a uniform group, civil defense. It's authority. It is, fighting fires. But yet, I think people are taking to it very, very positively. So I think it's a great example for us to see that, well, it can be done. I think with the right tech, with the right experience, and a bit of courage. So
you do think that the public here can really appreciate the differences then?
Yes, I think so. But what's important is must be authentic. I mean, SCDF must do its work well. It must be putting out fires, rescuing people, doing its job well. Likewise, as MP, I must do my job as MP well. No amount of selfies or witty comments is going to sort of paint the right image of us if we don't do our work well.
So if you look at the bigger picture, how do we manage expectations from people who are very active on social media? They want instant reactions from everyone these days, from the media and from the government as well.
I think it's something we have to co-develop, that kind of trust and comfort level, and for the public to understand and so to differentiate. Certain things is important, urgent, therefore there will be immediate response, but some, it can wait and people can be patient.
So as far as communication with the public goes, every arm of government or every MP has a different approach, but do you think there are general areas of improvement that you think can be done?
I think at the end of the day, we must be ourselves. We cannot try too hard to be somebody that we are not. If we don't have that kind of personality, if I'm not humorous, I'm not witty, nothing can bring me anywhere. So we can learn, we can observe, but ultimately we must be ourselves.
And it's also about the public getting to know you a bit better as well as a person, not just as an MP.
That's right.
Someone
I think people
that they can communicate
exactly,
with.
And some people find that you're easy to approach. They'll be more willing to listen to what you say. So I think these are all the pluses.
But do you think that essentially by being very active in social media, you've been able to reach out to a lot more of your constituents? A
lot more, and also a lot more that I may not get a chance to meet on my walkabouts, house visits. So it's really sort of spreading and expanding the reach.
So have you really used it to your advantage then?
I hope so.
Okay, finally, one more question for you. How do you manage it? How do you manage it all? Are you going to keep up with every new medium that comes aboard, or are you going to stick to what you're used to?
Well, so far I'm active on 3, so Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I actually had a Tumblr account, but I think it's very quiet.
Okay.
So I think I'll just leave it for time being.
All right, thank you very much for coming today. It was great speaking to you.
Thank you.
And that was MP Baey Yam Keng on official agencies and the government engaging people in a new way on the online and social media spheres.